Hello everyone and welcome back to another tutorial. My name is Divine and in today's video I'll be showing us how to go about the pattern drafting of a Victorian corset with front lacing. So if this is something you're interested in, don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe to the channel. So starting from the top of my pattern paper here, I'm going to be coming down to mark my chest line measurement, my apex, my length under bust and my half length measurement. So the measurement I'll be working with is displayed on the screen. After doing that, I'm going to draw out a straight line. Next, from my half length now, I'm going to come down with 7.5 inches to mark my hip line. So this is my hip line. I'm going to label these lines: my chest line, my apex, length under bust, half length and hip line. Next, on the shoulder line here, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurements divided by 2. I'll mark that also on my chest line, then connect the 2 points together. After which, I'm going to come down with 1 inch on this line here for our shoulder slope. Then I'll measure what I have left on that line and divide by 2. Now on that midpoint, I'll then go in with 0.5 inches. Then I'll come to my chest line now and mark my bust measurement divided by 4. I'll mark that on my chest line. Then connect these 3 points together like so. So this is the armhole curve for the front bodice. So this is it. Next, from the center of my paper here, I'm going to go inwards with my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. And that will be 3.75. I'll draw a straight line all the way to the top. So this is my nipple to nipple line. Now from my length to under bust line, I'm going to mark 1 inch on both sides of this nipple to nipple line. This is our dart intake, and this dart intake varies depending on your bust measurement. So I'll connect the 1 inch point now to touch the apex like so. Then from the apex here, I'm going to go up and mark 0.5 inch. Then come to the shoulder here and mark 1 inch on both sides of this nipple to nipple line. Then connect it like so. So this is our shoulder dart of 2 inches. So this is what we are having. Next, on the half length, I'm going to mark my round body measurement divided by 4. I'll measure what I have for my dart, which is 2 inches, and replace it. Then on my hip line now, I'll mark my hip measurement divided by 4. I'll mark that out. Then measure what I have for my dart, which is 2 inches, and replace it. So we need to replace because we are going to be cutting out these 2 inches of the dart intake. So I'll connect it, and this is the shaping of my bodice. After doing that now, I'll come to the center front of my pattern. I'll come down with 5 inches. This is going to be the length of the upper bodice. And on the side, I'll come down with 2 inches from the half length. I'll close up these 2 darts like so, then connect the hem together. So we need to close it up so that we get an equal shaping on that part. So this is how the down of our dress is going to be. After doing that now, I'm going to be snatching the waistline, and on the half length here, I'm going to go inwards with 0.5 inches. Then I'll come to the chest line and go up here with ½ inch. This is because this dress is a sleeveless dress, so we need to go up with ½ inch for more coverage on the armpits area. Then I'll connect like so. So this is what we are having. So with this now, we've removed 2 inches. This 0.5 times 4, that's 2 inches. We've removed 2 inches from our actual waistline. Now on the nipple to nipple point on the apex line, I will go out with 0.25. Then come to the side and mark 1 inch on both sides. So this is our bust dart of 2 inches. And I'll connect it like so. So we're going to be closing up this bust dart later on. Now the neck depth of this dress is going to be 5.5 inches for me. I'll mark 5.5 inches. You can mark what you want yours to be, how low you want the neckline to be. So I'm working with 5.5 inches. Next, because I'm going to cut out this shoulder dart of 2 inches, we need to replace it after this armhole to get a new armhole. So to do that, on this straight line here, I'm going to mark different points, 2, 4, 6. I'll come to this other straight line here and mark the same point, 2, 4, 6. Then I'll measure what I'm having on that first two and replace it on this side, but I'll be starting from the curve. I'll measure what I have here. I'll start from the curve and replace it. I'll measure what I have here. I'll start from the curve and replace it. I'll measure what I'm having here. I'll come to this point and replace it. After doing all that, I'm going to connect all the points together, and with this we've replaced the armhole of 2. We replaced the shoulder dart and gotten our new armhole. Then I'm going to draw out our shoulder slope. From the tip of this dart here, I'll connect it to the 1 inch we came down with and extend my hands out to touch the new armhole. So this is our shoulder slope. So on this armpit area, I'm supposed to go up with 1/2 inch, like I said earlier. Because this is a sleeveless dress, you need to go up with 1/2 inch. So I'll just connect it back to the new armhole. So this is the armhole we are working with. So if you are attaching a sleeve, you can maintain the initial chest line marking there. So now I'm going to connect this now to the waistline. So this is what we'll be working with here, not the other line. Then on both sides of this shoulder dart here, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch on both sides of this dart and connect it to the apex. This is so that the upper part is going to be firm on our chest. Then I'll connect the tip to touch the dart tip at the top. So this is what we are having. We're going to be cutting out these darts. Next, for the lacing at the center front of our dress, I'm going to be going inwards from this neckline with 1.25. So because this pattern is on fold, by the time we open 1.25 up, we're going to be having 2.5. So it means the opening there will be 2.5. And on this lower part, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch. So when we open it up, that's 1 inch. So we're going to connect the 2 points together, but please make sure that the opening at the upper part is not too wide, at least 1 inch or 1.25. So if you do 1.5, that means you're going to be having 3 inches, and that might be too wide for the lacing at the front. You can even do 0.75, so it's not too wide, like I said. So this is where our eyelet is going to be at the front. Next, I'm going to divide, because this is a Victorian corset, I'm going to divide what I have on this side into 2. So if the bodice was very big, we can go ahead and divide this into 3. If the bodice is very big on this side, you can divide into 4. But because of how small this side is, I'm going to just be dividing it into 2. Then I'll draw it. You can either draw a straight line or you can slant this part a bit. So I'm going to be having 3 panels, that is 3 pieces of fabric here, 3 on this side, 3 on the other side. It means I'm having 6 in total at the front. So this is what I'm having. So I said if you're on a bigger side, you can get up to 4 panels. So on this side now, I'm going to go in with 1 inch to get the strap, and on this shoulder slope here, I'm going to go in with 1 inch. So if we are making an armless dress, we are supposed to minus 1 inch from our shoulder because there's no sleeve, so it does not need to go all the way. So I'm going to get the new armhole now. From that 1 inch we went inwards, I'll connect it back to the armhole, and this is what we are having. So we're having 2 inches here, and to get the width of the strap at the top, I'll close up this dart and measure the neck width I want to have. So I can work with a neck width of 3.5, but I think I used 3.75. So what I have left is 2.5. So the width of the strap is 2.5 at the top, and at the bottom is 2 inches. So I'll connect it like so. And this is what we are having for the strap and for the front bodice of this pattern. So we're having 1 panel, 2 panel, 3 panel on one side, and on the other side of the front we have another 3. That is 6 panels for our Victorian corset at the front. Now for the back draft, I'll come down from the top of my paper to mark my chest line measurement and my half length of 14 inches because the front is longer with 2 inches. I'll draw a straight line. After which, from my half length now, I'll come down to mark my hip line of 7.5 inches. So I'll label these lines. After doing that, I'll come to my shoulder line here and mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2. So I'm going to be drafting for if you want to have a zipper at the back, and also if you want to still have a lacing at the back. So for the zipper at the back, this is what we are drafting first. That is, you want a zip at the back. I'll come down from this shoulder line with 1 inch, then measure what I have left and divide by 2. Then on the chest line, I'm going to mark my bust measurement divided by 4. So I'm going to connect. I'll connect to that midpoint. So this is the back armhole. Then on the half length line, because we're having a zipper, I'm going to go inwards with 0.5 inches first. Then connect that 0.5 inch to the shoulder tip like so. So this is to help eliminate zipper bulge. It will help to remove any excess when we fix our zip. Then I'll come down with 6 inches on this side and blend it out. So this is what we are having. We'll be cutting out this part. Now starting from this 0.5 inch, I'll mark our round body measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that. Then on the hip line, I'll mark our hip measurement divided by 4. And I'll connect all the points together. So this is what I'm having. Now I'm going to mark the length of the blouse. On the center back, I'll come down with 5, and on the side, I'll come down with 2. Then connect using a straight line. This is for the back, the length of the upper part of the Victorian corset. So I'm going to be going inwards with 0.5 here because we went inward with 0.5 at the front. But because this is a zipper, we're supposed to use 0.25. You don't want it to be too tight when it's a zip at the back. Then I'll go up with ½ inch on the chest line and connect like so. So I said use 0.25 if you are using a zip at the back. 0.25 on this side for the front and for the back. Next, I'll mark our initial neck width of 3 inches. And from that 3 inches, I'll connect to the shoulder slope. So this is just the basic neckline. Then I'll determine the depth of the back neckline, and I'll be working with 6.5 inches. So the front is 5.5, the back is 6.5 for the neckline. After doing that, now I'm going to mark our nipple to nipple measurement for the dart, and starting from the 0.5, I'll mark 3.75. And from that 3.75, I'll go up with 5 inches and come down with 5 inches and draw a straight line for our dart. Then on both sides of this point, I'm going to go out with ½ inch. Then connect the ½ inch to touch the tip here and the 5 inches at the lower part. So this is our dart. And I'll just extend this middle line all the way up to touch the neckline. So this is our dart for the back. What I'll do next is to mark out to go inward on the shoulder slope with 1 inch, just like we did for the front, and blend it back to the armhole. The armhole where we went up with ½ inch. I'll blend it back. So this is now the armhole we're going to use for the back. And for the width, I'm going to use 2.5 inches, just like we used for the front. Then from this dart here, I'm going to go out with ½ inch and connect it up. So this is the strap for the back. So this is what we are having for the zipper, if we are using a zipper for the back of our dress. And I said initially that if you are using a zipper, On the waistline, go in with 0.25. Don't go in with half. It will be too tight when it's a zip. Your zip might burst. So 0.25 here, and at the front too 0.25. So for the lacing, if you want a corset lacing at the back of our dress, this is the pattern for it. I've drawn out all our lines. What I'll mark is our bust measurement divided by 4 on the chest line. On the half length, our round body divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that. And on the hip line, our hip divided by 4. I'll connect all the points together. After doing that now, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go up here with ½ inch because this is a sleeveless dress. Then I'll come down from the center back with 5 inches and on the side with 2 inches and connect. After doing that, I'm going to go inward and snatch with 0.5. So this now we can use 0.5. We snatch 0.5. And you know you can do more than 0.5, but it's going to be very tight. So I just use 0.5 for myself. Then on the shoulder slope, I'll go in with 1 inch because this is a sleeveless dress like I earlier explained, and connect it to the armhole, to the chest line here. After doing that, the spacing for the back, I'm going to use 1.25, and on this lower part, I'm going to use ½ inch. Then I'll connect the two of them together. So this is going to be for the opening at the back of our corset. Then for the lacing bar where our eyelet is going to be, I'm going to mark 1.5 at the top and at the bottom and connect like so. You can use 2 inches if you're on the bigger side, but I'm using 1.5. Next, I'm going to measure what I have left on this waist here. From this point to this point, I'll divide it by 2. I'll mark that out. Then go up with 5 inches and come down with 5 inches. This is for the dart at the back. Then I'll mark ½ inch on both sides of this line here, of this point here. Then connect like so. Okay. So after doing that, I'm going to just extend this line all the way up so that we can cut through. And this is the neckline of 6.5 inches for the back. Now from this dart here, I'm going to go out with ½ inch. Then on the shoulder slope, I'm going to mark 2.5 inches, what we used for the front, and connect like so. So this here is the back strap. So this is what we are having for this corset. Now to cut out, we are going to be cutting out this part. We'll be throwing it out because we don't need it. Then I'll cut out the first panel. So this here is the first panel. This is what we are having. I'll cut out this dart. Then I'll cut out our strap. This is our strap for the front. Then before I cut out this second and third panel, I'm going to close up the bust dart first. So you need to close up the bust dart before you divide, you cut through. As you can see, after closing up the dart, the blue line is no longer straight. That is why you need to close it up first. After doing that, now we're going to straighten this line how we want it to be. You can straighten it this way or you can straighten it this way. Just make sure you close up the bust dart first. So this is what I'm having. I can cut any of these lines here as long as it's straight. So that's my second panel, and this here is my third panel. So I said if you're on the bigger side, you can have as much as 4 panels. And this is just one side of my front plus the other side of my front. That will be 6 panels for the front. And for the back, I'm going to be cutting out like so. This is the strap for the back. I'll cut out this part, we don't need it. This is the opening. Then I'm going to label before cutting. This is my side, back, arrow to arrow, star to star, center back, so we can identify each pieces after cutting. I'll cut out my dart. Then you can decide to separate this or leave this lacing bar. So this is what I'm having. So guys, if you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye for now.